Someone else 8-piece handle. Look at the yellow in the hall laughing and complaining. These frozen pastries are great. It's just a small pill that's too filling. The person next to him looked at the dry rations. I also agree to say, that's right. This salary is due to the special owner. New research raw. To provide for these types of tasks, it's such a harsh environment. I see people praising such food. The captain couldn't help but be funny. Hurry up, give everyone some food. To have more power. Ready for tomorrow's mission. Food doesn't stop you. Tomorrow, more power, cause more movement. This mission is important. If not, master, it's not going to give us so much good stuff. Suddenly, there were footsteps coming from afar. Ra was the one who was sent to the snow cave island. Each of them carries a shovel on his shoulder. Smiling face as he finished the task. They said the captain dug through the snow. The captain saw who was back. So there's room for everyone tonight. I told him to eat and go to bed early. One of the newly, if you have eaten before, get up and go to bed early. He said I was full and let me spread my sleeping bag. The rest of you agree and can talk. When it comes to sleeping bags, they feel magical. Everyone is also excited to talk. One of them said the sleeping bag was magical. I slept in a snow cave last night and didn't freeze to death. He said he would sleep in the snow. I thought the captain was bad. Someone else laughed. Ha ha ha, me too. And this sleeping bag is so light. Convenient to carry. Captain, do you know when sleeping bags are sold in Sholan? When the captain heard that, he was unsure of the answer. I heard that this sleeping bag only has 20 pieces. You three also specifically warned, even if you can't bring it back, you also have to cancel it. Probably not sold in the big market. Another man finished drinking and asked, what about this high concentration wine? When the mission is over, we'll have a drink. The captain saw that his crew members loved alcohol so much. I laugh, but he likes it himself. It's great to drink it every day, especially this weather. He replied, this is due to Nunla enlisted. Before we do our duty, get out there. It will not be sold in the market in a short time. The person who asked to hear the captain say that only sighed. I'm sorry to say that. Outside the snow cave, people are talking about alcohol. Then someone else spread out his sleeping bag. Then quickly get in. A warm feeling enveloped him. His face exuded unspeakable happiness. It's like a little cat with its fur. With this comfortable treat, in his heart, he was determined. Master Bar, give us such good conditions. This time the task must be completed. Then he fell asleep. In the early morning of the next day, as the sun rises from the snowy mountains, the whole space is lit up. The snowflakes reflect the sun's light. Make them sparkly and beautiful. At the cave of the Sigh of the Lion Prince, the dog is still sleeping. I woke up suddenly, for hearing the closing sound from the distance. He opened his eyes wide to the sound. Freeze death concussion. He shouted at the boys who were still rolling. Go to sleep, they're coming. The cat beast hurried up. Panicked, looks like you don't know what's going on. The CA continued. The movement today is bigger than the day before. Could it have been an army of lepers? Just thinking about it, he sniffed the group of juniors. Maybe soon. After that, they ran out of the cave, running towards the sword. It's not far away. All their actions have been taken. A person standing on a tree branch, the binoculars are in your eyes. In the binoculars, there's a funny picture of a cat and a dog are fleeing on the white snow. So from the tree, he said, down with two teammates under the tree. It's close. They've already started. We start out on the road too. Remember to keep making noise. The people below shouted loudly. The prince's two men fled like FLIs. I hear the noise behind me getting louder. They are afraid to shout at each other. They're getting closer and faster. Suddenly, from a distance, they see a glimpse of the wind in front of the city in their eyes. It's never been so beautiful and safe. As long as they come back, they're safe. You two are getting faster. Breathing rosy. Strength is exhausted, but still dare not stop. From behind, a man on the mission team has been standing here for a long time. He held up the same name for an hour. A sharp arrow flew out, like tearing the wind towards the animal's dogs and cats. Dog animal name. It's like feeling something dangerous. Hurry back to the back. To hit him in the eye is to make a flying arrow. Fly to my place. Can't avoid it. The boy was stabbed in the back by an arrow. He screamed in pain. But in the end, the body returned to the city. Standing in front of the lion prince, the two knelt before the prince, and under the cross-section without a drop of blood. The cat is even worse. The arrow is still on his back. The blood is bleeding profusely. It hurts to cut the intestines, cut the liver, and still kneel here to be punished without being taken away for treatment. The lion prince's face was full of blood. Look at the two useless men on the ground. He didn't do anything. He got hurt. He's too numb. What's the use of raising you? The voice radiates great power. It's like a pin to the two demons below. The dog beast who trembled with fear defended himself. It's about a group of lepers. It's also very aggressive, for wanting to translate us, that they chasing to the outskirts. The prince asked how many people there were. Animal dog trembling voice stuttering reply. About 200 people. Listen to here. The lion prince knows the situation. Lower the deviation. Go back and deal with the wound. And then brought 250 horsemen with them. Bring back the treasure map. 2 animals, dogs and cats, as pardoned. Shout out a loud voice. But over here, outside the walls of the trees, the robbers in the story of the old prince's men, sitting leisurely waiting. One of them thinks about the ox. I don't know if the Indians have arrived yet. If someone in the group heard that, they analyzed it. The Indians came in the boat. It will be faster than us. Someone who is sure. After returning to the Atlantic, then go to the first drug. Eat a barn meat first. Although the salary is very compressed, but it's still meat that has more energy. He couldn't help but think. The taste and aroma of fish. Think about here. He couldn't help but drool in his mouth. People also imagine this scene. Can't help but nod in agreement. How long have people not talked about the melon trade? Then I heard the word dagger become the sound of hinds hooves. Hind fat raw, to shake the ground. Hear the sound. One of Team 5 hurried up the group tube. I saw the horseman army, led by the dog beast, come out of the city. Tiger atmosphere. In his heart, the aesthetic has come. They're trapped, of course. Then he jumped from the tree's branches to the ground. Tell the people below. There must be more than 200 people. It's like keeping a distance. The plan is to lure him to the edge. Remember the route up the Kier mountain. Then use the skis that have been hidden to run. It's our only chance to leave the horsemen behind. He pointed to the snowy mountain ahead. Everyone who knows the instructions nods in agreement. The commander lowered his face and said, "Today's mission is dangerous. Absolutely must not be ignored. No one must die." The whole group answered clearly again. The air pressure goes up again. In the snow-covered forest, deep in the forest, echoing the pounding of the footsteps. Where does this sound go? Is the birds roaring, flying irregularly here. Under the ground, the sound is the army of the multi-fortification city. The leader is an animal, the dog and his staff. He's riding his horse in the front row. Don T forget to pay attention to the surroundings. Suddenly, he swiped for an hour. Countless arrows suddenly from the sky fly down where the horsemen are going. The leader of the werewolf raised his head, looking up at both horror and fear. When you see the sky. He pulled the horse to stop. I saw my horseman suddenly. He reached out his hand to the cavalry. Scream, don't panic. Take out Ra's shield and keep moving forward. He was attacked by an arrow. So he understands very well. This attack by the leper bandits. So there's room available. The horseman swung his shield. The VA shields together. Together they form a shield. Very strong iron completely covered the army. The arrows rushed down against the shield. I cry out for an hour. The arrow is blocked by a broken shield. Can't do anything. The knights of the city. Animal named dog. I can't see what the bow can do. Laughing, ha ha ha, it has all the way. Chase. After stopping the advance, then they went out and chased the robbers. The people who saw that they had lured them shouted. To deceive them. Let them chase. The animal shows that it doesn't feel right. Fucking people. More cunning than a lake. Then the tiger turned to the horseman. March forward and chase. He said chasing must catch them. The horsemen of the beast hear the fluttering order. Run after the people. That an army of idiots at the top. Look at the animals down the road. They are like people whispering to each other. Being a god for the most part. Most of the wind has been lured out. Like a giant leaning against a tree trunk, tell the rest. Get the food and the kitchen utensils. Get out here. Let's go. The rest of us nodded clearly. The bull started talking again. We've talked about resignation for everyone. According to the original plan, Team A goes to the forest to stop the beastmen. B team blocked the big gate into the executioner. Others to pick up the slaves raw. People hear the assignment. Start to divide into actions according to the plan discussed before. In a concentration camp for slaves. Space dissipation. It's a big space. Just a few tattered makeshift tents. I can't imagine looking at it. People can live here. Everyone here has their clothes tattered and their cheeks crumpled. Foggy face. No longer alive to wander and hide in the house. Strappin', a clear knock on the door. The man in the house opened the door and poked his face out. The scared face looked over. In front of the old man, the Indians were sent to help the people. They are serious, he said to the old man in a cold voice. If you want to live, go to the river. Others continue. There's porridge. Go to the river to eat. They knock on doors one by one and communicate the same content. The animals heard that. We gathered at the center of this village. Ask the Kier. On their faces there was disbelief. A rabbit beast spoke in a voice that he knew. It's a scam again. The people who left didn't come back. Let's see the lake on the waterfront is Sao that is porridge. They're very familiar with these things. Their relatives go without coming back. I want to trick them and kill them. Someone else seems to believe in greatness. The face is not afraid of death. The voice trembled and stuttered without a word. I've been hungry for days. Even if you die, try it. Everyone who heard this agrees. They're so hungry, they can't take it anymore. Even if you die, you may not be lucky. They're walking slowly towards the banks of the river. Let's see the barley. They're like zombies starved for days. Eyes without focus go forward. Near the riverbank a wind blew through. Brings the sweet smell of barley to the nose. Their eyes are wide open. The panicked face didn't smell too good. It's real. By the river of melancholy, the fawn are cooking porridge. There's a lot of big boxes of porridge being heated. The sweet smell. I also want to kill a normal 8 people. These are people who have been hungry for a long time. Their faces are full of joy. A voice full of joy said, "Oh my God." Porridge. They all looked at each other and said, "There's real food." The faster the animals run. It's as if the people with the energy aren't them. This person pulls the other person to fight first. To be the first to eat porridge. They said, "Give me the porridge. Give me first. I come first, give me first." Porridge dipping man bewildered face. Advise people to say, "Don't worry, everyone has it." He said quickly, "For everyone." The animals don't eat for a long time. Just sip the porridge. The whole person is alive again, full of life. They were so happy that tears flowed out. They think it's the best meal of their lives. That they enjoy. They say barley porridge. I haven't eaten such a delicious porridge in a long time. It's so good that we finally have food. People with leprosy. I see animals so happy. They are also happy in their hearts. Outside the city of the wind, like you and someone else are talking about the situation of oatmeal distribution today. Ask the person next to you how it is. The man next to me said there was food. Everybody's on the banks of the river. This winter is so cold. If the boss doesn't send us, more than half of those slaves will not survive. To the spring. Suddenly, there was an Asian sound. What are the two of them screaming about? And rush to the place where the sound is coming from. Their eyes widened in wonder at the scene before them. In front of you is a little animal. Skinny body sitting crouched in the corner. My face is covered in fear. There's a little girl with blue hair, covered over his head, wearing a bandage. There was a man covered in blood. Unconscious people on the ground. She has a very cute face. But it's cold hard to approach. He has a temperament that is not the same as his age. She saw 2 people rushing in and raised her head. I came back to steal food. You 2 just came in. You don't know what happened. Instinctively, we're not. Not finished yet. For an hour. Cute blue-haired Kier. He appeared in front of the old man. Hand spun a cloth, as sharp as a sword. As you see the bandages coming. He shouted to the person next to him to stay away. He turned and drew his sword. Stop the girl's attack. Let's hear a rope and 2 VA swords together. The amazing fisherman in the rope has something else. The rope wrapped tightly in the sword. She just pulls her hand for an hour. The sword spinning. Wire cloth so that enveloped the sword. The sword fell from the hand of the tourist to the ground. The bull was seriously injured. The other person found the situation a bit tense. Stand up for reconciliation. Don't get excited, girl. We're here to give you food. She saw that the cold face was deceiving. She didn't believe me, he explained. What am I fooling you about? Barley porridge is on the banks of the river. You will be eaten there. I can't help but feel that this child is too strong. She sounded confident and asked, "What does it cost to eat your porridge?" In a place where there's not enough to eat and drink. She soon understood that if she did, she would eat. Giving her food definitely has another purpose. Two people full of questions said pay the price. You don't have to pay anything. And she makes an argument. No meal in this world is free. You have to pay for food. You said those who give gifts are those who have intentions. The two people who heard it only knew how to stop the question. What's your name? The cold girl says out the F-play. Somewhere other than the capital. Two people on a mission to coax the enemy into pretending to back off. You're surrounded by an army of animals. Those animals on the handle. The face behind the air. The dog beast galloped to the melon screaming loudly. Give me the map. Get out here. I'll let you die. Two people with their mouths open, their eyes wide open, sweating. The dog-slashing beast came, but the two of them avoided it. The provocative voice said, "See if you have that talent." For an hour, he jumped on the map. Animal named dog people see happy face map. Eyes lit up shouting map. The men of the army rushed forward, picking up a panicked face as if losing something. The dog looked at the map at his feet. Hurry to get it. The animal engineers saw the CA. Hold in hand map. No more fear. And jump up and get a map and kill them. The rest of the bandits. The man holding the map fled. People still don't want to leave. Crab Feet want to fight again. He pulled him away and said, "Network is more important. Hurry and run." They run fast. Not notice that? A box of dry food has fallen to the ground ever since. Two people can run a section. It's a long way from the riders. Turn around and see if anyone is chasing you. Then he told the captain in fear, "Captain, you scared me to death. It's dangerous." Even though the captain was injured, he was still uninjured. Laugh haha. Just like that, then he believed the fake map was real. Let's go to the rally. I'm sure the tigers have completed their mission. At the river of melancholy on a big sailing boat. Niu Dai, standing on the ship bomb, told Afle the wind too big. Don't let the cold see you care so much. But Prest lay still stiff throat. The face without emotion is not cold. He sat down next to her and asked Han curiously, "You are capable of killing the enemy. Why become a slave?" She said, "That's the price to pay. I eat food in the wind. The price is to be sold as a slave." He laughed in his heart and felt sorry for her. This child is so naive. He thought of the power of the baby and asked, "So AI taught me combat techniques?" The child replied that the elder sister was right to ask more. "Have you ever mentioned, why did my sister leave me alone?" "It's because I'm too weak. Will only pull people back." "Where is your sister going, I wonder? Why leave her alone?" She uttered the dragon catcher. The opposite person only knows the OI. The word A is amazing. The startled fisherman shouted the dragon. There are dragons in this world. From childhood to adulthood, I have not seen, never even heard of it. Who said anything about dragons? Dragons exist only in mythology. To see you so amazed. She just silently handed him a small roll of paper. I hold my curiosity open. My face stop poking. This is. Open the paper. Raw is a task paper. Hunter mission 7 unidentified dragon targets. Characteristics unknown. Someone spotted the dragon. Appeared in the Forbidden Mountain area. Length 10 meters or more, height 4 meters or more. It's got a huge mouth, sharp fangs that walk onto legs. Request to kill or capture alive. Bonus based on level of completion. Will give you 100,000 10,000 gold. Read the task sheet like a big breath. Ro is the one with the dragon. She stood up and told me to eat your food. You say it. Your boss will tell me what to pay. I only know how to kill. If I kill a few more people, there's more porridge to eat. No. It's coming out of the mouth of a 4-year-old. I can only sigh. I tried to explain this to her. Not everything has to be returned. She doesn't seem to believe. It's impossible. You can't pay it back. Like a great man closing his eyes. Maybe love is a smile. And suddenly, she put her hand to her mouth. Pull aside to make a smile. I saw that she was suddenly so strange. The face is full of questions. Then I saw her face and her funny smile. The face is dull, cracking out laughing. Ha 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 ha. Laughter echoed through the sea. She doesn't understand. Why is he laughing like that? He asked what he was laughing at. The city of the executioner. An animal goes and kneels and announces. His voice trembled, reporting. The slaves outside the city were taken away. They blocked the gate. There's really no way. The Lion Prince remained calmly suspicious of the bad weather. Winter is like that any slave trader would be so stupid. Pick up all the slaves here, raise them no SAO. But it could be hundreds of people in a moment. The enemy's size is not small. Suddenly, there was a scream from outside. Master Gao is back. Prince of the Lions. Why is it so fast? The guy couldn't chase the bandits 7 times. One more sound. Your Majesty has obtained the map. Career map to here. The Lion Prince laughed very happily. Ha ha ha. Looking down at the beast, the dog holding up the map. Take the map from Taekyu. He opened his eyes in wonder. This is only a quarter of the map. I still see the wood. On his knees, he asked more. How's the battle going? The last woodcutter let the enemy escape. 30 people died next to me. Heard there was an injury. Prince Hang voice 30. We didn't catch any prisoners, but to the detriment of 30 people. He hurriedly explained, Your Majesty, the enemy is too cunning. Our equipment is too heavy to act. The enemy is hiding. It's easy to use a bow and arrow to kill us. Listen to this excuse. The prince of the strong stone feet towards the Kiao Mu. The wood was kicked away. My mouth is bleeding and crying out for an hour. The prince did not respect either. That exposed the stupidity of the beast the dog. That's 7 horses. And only got a quarter of the map back. The prince shouted except for the fallacy of Ra. You know what to do. Even the dog is scared. Shaking, please forgive me. The prince in his heart silently calculated. My good brother divided the map of Ra into 4 parts. Surely Era has a part of Ali's Avji. So where's the rest of it? His hands gripped the map. Ice-cold voice. Wrong to say, save people to find Era's movements. In addition to investigating the leper group. If they knew the existence of the map, then I'm sure you know the rest of the map. The prince's men bowed their heads and shouted. Outside the Atlantic city, the wind is blowing. Toji bargained people are leopard clothes. It's so cold. It's not about business. Then Toji looked up at the village. But look forward. My father hasn't come yet. I'm freezing to death. I saw a car coming from a distance. Then the fun must have come. On the white snow, some chariots. and a group of people dressed in blue ribbons. Move both sides to protect the cars. Slowly towards the gate. Tuji happily waved his hand at the people who called out. You've got their attention. The cars and the people are still moving slowly. Silence despite Toji's call. Not Father Sao. Toji stood like the sky in the snow. Look at the carriage passing by, in my mind constantly wondering, what is it that can make you go away? Send so many escorts. Oh, don't be curious. In the Atlantic City, to learn, there are many ways not to cause trouble. If not, even if it's AI, you have to go to the police station. While Toji was thinking, the guards of Liu Feng and the chariots has passed through the city gate. I haven't stopped thinking about cars. Then Togi turned his attention to the voices of people from afar. It's so cold. Why is it so cold to go out? It's usually not cold in winter. It's cold, stay home. Then Ra is your father. The owner of the North Feng City with some neighboring is coming. In addition, there is also a guard of Liu Feng. Toji saw father excited to jump up. Excited voice calling father. I'm finally waiting for you to come. The Lord of the North saw his beloved son. Also happy bright face. Call me Tori. Tori's eyes suddenly stopped. Stop on the owners who are with me. The owners is carefully observing the scenery of the northern wind. The blonde commented that it was a rumor. The house is very short. He became the owner of the white beard next to him. They also don't stop complaining. Yes, the roads are also very clean. We have to learn from you. Only the dwarf owner has a scowling nose and an overbearing mouth. Jealousy is no different. Except the road is a little wider than the house. It's true that the thing is short, the brain is short, and it's good. Yard C. Listen to the words of the owners. Toji came back and asked me, what are the owners doing here? The Lord of the North laughed. You've heard the Atlantic City is good. Should want to come see. I have to come to see you in a while. At the same time, in the sun-covered city of Chan shimmering, Liu Feng is walking into the room with the nun maid. He's carrying bottles of wine. Liu Feng said, the wine that just arrived this morning was bamboo wine. Even though time is not enough, but a little bit of structure is not good. The nun listened carefully to Liu Feng's words. Front, she's pulling Isisa's hand into the room. You've convinced me. Come on in. Isia doesn't seem to want. And Nico Ladi came to see Ijisa appear here. Ask a question. Isiza, S.A.O. What happened to Pai? Isisa, no, there's nothing wrong with the pizza. The emperor explained that. I dragged Isisa there to take her to dinner. I eat every time I see you, I eat with you. The fun comes at the right time. Let us try these wines. On the table, a bottle of white wine poured raw. The sparkling crystal glasses. This is a 20-degree wine. Please taste. Ellie excitedly put both hands towards the glass of wine. Soft voice. My boss wants to try it. Oh baby. You drink it, and you mess it up. Then he climbed back into the boy's bed. I was obsessed with alcohol last time. The wind stopped loudly. Ellie and Mina seemed to want to try it too. Both of you can't drink. Here's the tea. I and Yijisa start drinking. I just finished drinking and Yijisa was very kind. The opposite of you. Like a woman who drinks wine. While Asisa commented the wine was delicious. The smell of barley. Very delicate look. Then the bottom of her face was wrinkled, and she banged her button down. It's hard to drink, not too bitter. Liu Fengvu said. Not tasty is not reluctant, but what surprised me was the glass of wine you just drank. Take up a drink. No matter what you are, I thought I was going to drink what I drank. You two have thought a lot. People don't want to waste it. I have been affected by Liu Feng's actions. Make shy to the top fuming. The wind doesn't notice. Turn to ask Yi Jisa how Yi Jisa commented. Isisa looked at the wine glass and commented carefully. Much better than wine outside. It was the first time I drank this wine. It is much better than wine in the mountains. Even though the wine is made with flowers. But these two are hard to compare. Nicola brought another bottle of blue wine. Yi Jisa, this is the bamboo wine that just arrived. Try watching Yi Jisa hold up the glass carefully. It tastes delicious and has a faint taste of truck. Save Feng, very happy mood. I chose a piece of bamboo forest to make an obelisk. Nicola replied softly yes. The two of them talk without paying attention. Isisa holding the remaining brown wine bottle among the wine samples. Take a breath. The wind was so amazing. That's 40 degrees. I am very afraid of drunk women. Because they're going to do things that no one can imagine. Isisa drank a breath and then mysteriously said, Lord, can I ask you a question? Will you protect all races? Eyes easy. Essay glitter charm enchanting look save wind. Waiting for an answer. Sure enough, of course. But AI lives in my territory. Whether humans or animals or goblins. I told the system everything. Isa finished listening and turned to thank you softly. A guard came in to warn the owner. The north wind is here. There are also for owners. They invited you to the drugstore upstairs for dinner. Fong told the guard. Tell them I have a guest today. Not convenient to leave. I'll invite you to the tennis tournament tomorrow. LA's still upset about not being able to try the wine. Not happy, boss. They didn't come for a good reason. Keep calm, and you will know tomorrow. Clear blue sky, cool wind, shining down on the desiccation floor of the Atlantic City. A soldier in a military uniform gradually moved. The person who bends down in an inviting position. 10-part thank you for your invitation. But he's got an important guest today. There is really no way to get there. I hope you become owners. Excuse Joe. So I didn't bother you guys before. Close the door and go out. Leaving 5 guests sitting at the banquet table. A guy banged down the table, screaming fish. There are 5 owners in the room. He didn't come. He wants to show us why. He was as chubby as a pig on the side. Have a mustache to braid. Snatching his curled beard, laughing and winking. Let's eat rice first. There is a real way to be religious. If you are angry, you have to eat first. The other owner held up the menu. Eat rice first. Tomorrow I want to ask you a question. Maybe this is a gentleman's receptionist or SAO. The receptionist came softly and bent over to ask the guests. What do you want to order? Just been asked that. The owner had forgotten his intention. Quickly open the view menu. He looked at the menu and commented. These are too expensive. They also use money pricing. It's like a knife cutting through the gut. But on the outside, you have to show I am a rich owner. He wanted to say, this one has this one too. Miss Snowtan stood there startled and asked again, are you sure? These things are all. Before he could finish speaking, he could take off again. Master Back Feng, you can also order. The boss of the Maple Leaf has a tray and still blooms laughing. So I want this. This dish. The public is not like. Hair is like wings. His son is the same, as fat as he is.